For decades, Pato Banton's name has been synonymous with reggae greatness. Known for his unforgettable voice, infectious energy, and powerful lyrics, he has inspired fans around the world. But behind the music, behind the smiles and the international tours, there has always been a side of Pato that no one truly understood. Until now, in a rare, exclusive revelation, Pato Banton finally breaks the silence, sharing intimate stories, struggles, and confessions that he has kept buried for years. What he reveals isn't just shocking, it challenges everything we thought we knew about the reggae legend. The early days, struggles, and dreams. Pato's journey began in the bustling streets of Birmingham, where music was not just a passion but a lifeline. Born into a world where opportunities were limited and dreams were often crushed by harsh realities, young Pato found solace in rhythm and rhyme. I remember lying awake at night, listening to the sounds of the city, imagining a life where my voice could be heard across the world, Pato recalls. It was more than a dream. It was a survival strategy, but the road was anything but smooth. Family pressures, financial struggles, and the challenges of growing up in a community where violence and hardship were common tested him daily. Yet, music became his refuge, a space where he could express the deepest parts of his soul without fear of judgment. Even then, Pato knew that talent alone would not guarantee success. You can sing all you want, but if you don't fight for your voice, it can disappear, he says, eyes reflecting years of battles fought both inside and outside the studio. The breakthrough and the price of fame. Pato's breakthrough came when his unique sound began to attract attention beyond the local scene. Record labels noticed him, and soon he was collaborating with some of the biggest names in reggae and beyond. Hits topped the charts, and Pato Banton became a household name. But fame came with its own burdens. Constant travel, relentless schedules, and the scrutiny of the media created pressures that few could understand. People think it's glamorous, he says, but fame is a double-edged sword. It can lift you up, but it can also tear you down. Behind the stage lights and sold-out shows, Pato battled exhaustion, self-doubt, and the struggle to maintain authenticity in an industry that often rewards conformity over creativity. The man who seemed so confident on stage was quietly fighting to stay true to himself off it. Secrets that shook the music world. And then comes the part that fans never expected. In a candid moment, Pato reveals experiences that have been kept under wraps for years, moments that have shaped him, challenged him, and ultimately defined the person he is today. There were times when I questioned everything. My talent, my purpose, my path, Pato admits. I faced decisions that could have ended my career before it even began. Choices that, if made differently, would have led me down a very different life. He recalls turning down record deals that promised wealth, but compromised his artistic integrity. Collaborations fell apart because of conflicting visions, and there were personal betrayals, relationships strained or broken by the pressures of a life in the spotlight. I learned early on that trust is rare in this industry, and sometimes the people closest to you are the ones who challenge you the most. The untold personal struggles. While the world saw a confident, energetic performer, very few knew the emotional toll Pato endured. He opens up about mental health struggles, moments of despair, and the fear of losing himself entirely to the demands of fame. I suffered in silence, he admits. I didn't want anyone to see the cracks. I thought if I showed weakness, everything I had worked for would crumble. Fans often overlook the human behind the music, the vulnerabilities, the sleepless nights, the doubts that plague even the most celebrated artists. Pato's revelation is a reminder that success is never as effortless as it appears on social media or in music videos. He also touches on physical health challenges, injuries sustained during performances, and the relentless toll of touring. I remember nights when my body ached so much I couldn't walk. But the show had to go on. The fans didn't know, and honestly, I didn't want them to. Lessons learned the hard way. Through all the hardships, Pato emphasizes that his experiences taught him invaluable lessons. Resilience, self-awareness, and staying true to one's roots became his guiding principles. Music is more than entertainment. It's a responsibility, he says. If you don't honor your craft, if you don't honor your fans, you're doing a disservice to yourself and the world. He shares stories of mentors who shaped his journey, moments when older musicians advised him to persevere despite setbacks, and times when he had to make difficult choices to protect his integrity. A rare look behind the curtain. Perhaps the most eye-opening part of Pato's revelation is the insight into the music industry itself. He exposes the pressures artists face, from exploitative contracts to the expectation to produce hits at the expense of personal growth. People think it's all glitz and glamour, Pato says, but the reality is harsh. There are battles you fight that no one will ever see. The untold stories behind the music are often the hardest to endure. He speaks candidly about the sacrifices he made, the friendships tested, and the moments when giving up seemed easier than pushing forward. But through it all, Pato remained committed to his passion, a testament to his unwavering dedication and love for reggae. The impact on fans and the world. Pato's honesty isn't just about him. It's a message to the millions of fans who have followed his journey. He wants people to understand that struggles are part of life, that authenticity matters more than perfection, and that resilience is what defines true greatness. Your journey isn't defined by the easy moments, he says. It's defined by how you rise after falling, by how you stay true to yourself, even when the world pushes you to conform. For fans, this revelation is monumental. It's a reminder that behind every song, every performance, there is a human being with fears, hopes, and dreams. And for aspiring artists, Pato's story serves as a blueprint for navigating an industry that is as challenging as it is rewarding. His untold story comes to a close. Pato hints that this is only the beginning. There are revelations yet to come, stories that will shock, inspire, and perhaps even change the way fans perceive him in the reggae world at large. I've held back for too long, he says, but it's time the truth comes out. There's so much more to share, and I hope people listen with an open heart. The stage is set for a deep dive into the life of a legend who has touched millions with his voice, yet has kept so many personal truths hidden. The untold story of Pato Banton is just unfolding, and it promises to be a journey filled with revelations, lessons, and unforgettable moments. Pato opens up about the darker side of the music business, something few artists dare to expose publicly. Contracts, negotiations, and promises. It's all designed to confuse you, he says. When you're young, you think talent is enough, but the industry is full of traps waiting to catch you. He reveals multiple instances where he almost lost his rights to his own music, where managers tried to push him into deals that would compromise his integrity. I had to fight for every note I ever recorded, Pato confesses. These aren't just business struggles. They're battles that shaped his identity. Fans now realize that Pato's success isn't luck. It's the result of grit, intelligence, and refusing to bow to pressure. Betrayals that cut deep. Behind the glamour, Pato shares stories of personal betrayals. Some friends and collaborators he trusted the most turned against him. These betrayals weren't just professional. They were deeply personal. There were people I considered family who tried to manipulate me for their gain, he says, eyes clouded with emotion. It hurt more than I can describe. I lost relationships I thought would last forever. These moments of heartbreak forced Pato to grow, to learn who truly deserved a place in his life. And while painful, they strengthened his resolve to stay authentic, no matter the cost. The pressure of fame. Fame is often portrayed as a dream come true. But Pato exposes the mental toll it takes on artists. People see you on stage, smiling, performing, full of energy, he explains. They don't see the nights I couldn't sleep, the anxiety, the moments I doubted everything. Pato shares how the constant scrutiny, every performance judged, every word analyzed, became overwhelming. He even contemplated stepping away from music entirely at one point. But music was my lifeline, he says. Leaving wasn't an option. It's what keeps me alive, even through the storms. Personal struggles behind the spotlight. This is where the story gets truly intimate. Pato opens up about mental health battles, moments of depression, and his ongoing struggle to balance personal life with a demanding career. There were times I felt completely alone, even in a room full of people, he admits. I had to learn to cope with my own thoughts, to stay grounded while the world expected me to perform perfect. He also discusses family sacrifices, explaining how constant touring and recording took a toll on relationships. Loved ones were sometimes left behind, and the guilt weighed heavily on him. I missed birthdays, anniversaries, important milestones. I had to find ways to make it up, but some things can never be replaced, he says. The music that almost never was. Fans know Pato Banton for his hits, but few know about songs that were never released, ideas that were shelved, or collaborations that fell apart because of industry interference. I wrote music that could have changed my career in ways people can't imagine, he reveals. But I refused to compromise. Those songs didn't see the light of day because they weren't mine to give away freely. This revelation shows that Pato's integrity is a cornerstone of his legacy. Unlike many artists who compromise for fame, he prioritized authenticity over quick success, a choice that may have cost him financially, but preserved his soul. Lessons from the dark times. Despite the betrayals, the anxiety, and the heartbreak, Pato's story is ultimately about resilience and growth. Every struggle taught me something, he says. Pain isn't wasted if you learn from it. Betrayal isn't the end if you rise stronger. And pressure isn't crushing if it shapes you into who you are meant to be. He emphasizes that his experiences, while painful, are also a gift. They made him a better artist, a more compassionate human, and a voice for those who face unseen battles in their own lives.